Hey, what it do, sports world, and welcome to the Real Untouchable Podcast with me, Ray Diggs. I got a great segment for you all. I want to talk about the top 5 teams in the NBA heading into the 2023 season. As you all know, it's been a crazy all season with a lot of crazy trades. Some teams got better, some teams got worse. But hey, before I get started, hey, make sure y'all hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the share button, and also give me your feedback on what you all think about this segment. All right, let's talk a little bit about the top 5 teams heading into 2023 NBA season. All right, I'm going to give you all my top 5 teams, and I'm going to tell you all why I think these 5 teams right here got extremely better than the rest of the NBA. Okay, I'm going to start off with my number 5 team. My number 5 team is the LA Lakers. All right, everybody know the way I feel about LeBron. He's my favorite player in the world. Yeah, the Lakers got way better this offseason than a lot of teams. I would say they had probably the second or third best offseason of any team in the NBA. And that is the reason why I'm saying that they are the 5th best team heading into the 2023 season. It's a lot of expectations around this team. And the one person that they added Gabe Vincent. They added Torian Prince, Cam Reddish, who I am very extremely ready. I'm so happy to watch this kid right here play and grow. But they added Jackson Hayes. And last but not least, they added Christian Woods from the Dallas Mavericks. That was one of the biggest pickups that I think that this team got because of the things that Christian Woods can do. Christian Woods can stretch the floor. You can put him at the center position with him and AD, where you know you can't leave him out there. You know he's a center that can shoot threes. He can pretty much take you off the dribble. He can pretty much do it all when it comes down to a big man. And then you have AD. So that's going to be an issue. But I'm going to tell you, Cam Reddish, he's a 3-and-D. He's a 3-and-D type of guy. I think that he haven't even tapped into his potential yet. I think that this kid right here can be really good. Gabe Vincent, as you all know, played for the Miami Heat last year, had a hell of a season. And Torian Prince. This kid right here is a defensive player that can also knock down the threes. And Jackson Hayes, he's a blocker. This kid right here is the type of player, very young, learning from LeBron. He can block shots. He can get rebounds. He can do the dirty things that the LA Lakers need. And that is why that is my 5th best team heading into the 2023 season. And number 4, I'm going to go with the defending champions. I got to give them some respect, even though I don't want to, but I'm going to give them their respect. The Denver Nuggets. This team basic added nobody. Why are they number 4, you might ask? Because they're the defending champions. They still got Nikola Jokic. They still got Jamal Murray. They still got Michael Porter Jr. And that is why this team right here, they can pretty much lose a Bruce Bowen, a Jeff Green. Now, those losses are going to come back to haunt them. Those losses will prove to be very significant in big games because Jeff Green, he was one of those players that hit big shots. Bruce Brown, he was one of those players that hit big shots in the playoffs, and the reason why this team even won the NBA championship. So that is why I'm going to put them at number 4. I should have put them at number 5, but that have been them being the NBA defending NBA champions. I had to give them a little bit of respect, and that's why they're my 4th best team heading into the 2023 season. At number 3, I'm going to go with the Phoenix Suns. This team added some great pieces. They added Bradley Beal. They added Nurkic. They added Eric Gordon. Boy, that is the biggest pickup I feel. Bradley Beal is the biggest. Nurkic is another big one. But boy is one of the biggest ones that I look at it. I'm a big fan of boy. I think that he haven't even tapped into his potential yet. He's only like 22, 23 years old. The kid can flat out ball. Pair him up with Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, Devin Booker. I think that this team right here can be very dangerous if they stay healthy. And that is why this right here is my 3rd best team heading into the 2023 season. And they had a hell of an all season. Picking up Nurkic in this last week was big for them. They needed a center. Boy is a good center, but I think going against a player like Nikola Jokic, it's gonna be problems for them, especially in the Western Conference. Because you got to think about it. You got teams like the Lakers that got Anthony Davis and Christian Woods. So they're gonna have problems. You got the Denver Nuggets who got Nikola Jokic. So they're gonna need a big center that can at least. I'm not saying they can stop him because nobody can stop Nikola Jokic. Nobody. You can't stop Anthony Davis when he's on his stuff. So they needed a center that could at least slow them down just a little bit. Just a little bit. That's all they needed. And they got that in Nurkic, and they got that in Boy Boy. Boy Boy is going to bring a type of dimension to this team that they need, which is he can hit threes. This kid can dribble. He might take the ball off a rebound, dribble down the court, and pretty much lay it up because that's the type of player he is. He brings a different type of dimension to this team, and that is why I say that this team right here was very, very lucky to get up. And also, Boy learning from a Kevin Durant. Not saying that he's on Kevin Durant level, but their body frame is kind of about the same. They shoot. They can both, take you off the dribble. They both can shoot threes. Now he's not on Kevin Durant level when it comes to threes, but he's still an average 3-point shooter. And that's what I'm saying. And that's why this team right here is I'm very excited to watch this team and see how far this team can make it. Bearing any injuries, this team right here should be a minimum. It's the Western Conference Finals. The Western Conference Finals is I'm saying them making it to the Western Conference Finals really and losing. They that's a bust for me because of who this team got. Bradley Beal, you got Kevin Durant, you got Devin Booker. So you got 3 top-level players, top-level scorers on one team. So the NBA championship, that is the expectation for this team right here. And that is why they are my third team. This is why they're my third best team heading into the 2023 season. And my number 2 team, I had to go with the Boston Celtics. And I'll explain to y'all why. First of all, they got Kristaps Porzingis. But the biggest reason is because of Jrue Holiday and what Jrue Holiday can bring to the table. Jrue Holiday bring a different dimension to the table because he's a point guard that can pass, he can shoot, but he also plays amazing defense. That is the reason why I was kind of skeptical and surprised the Milwaukee Bucks getting rid of him. But I guess I can see the reason why. But this guy right here, Boston picking him up was the biggest thing that they could have done. Yes, you got Kristaps Porzingis, and a lot of people didn't look at them as top 3 when they got Kristaps Porzingis. Yes, and they had their other pieces, Malcolm Brogdon and those guys. A lot of people didn't look at this team as a top 2 team. We looked at Milwaukee Bucks and the Phoenix Suns. Now, with them getting Jrue Holiday, it soared them past the Phoenix Suns into number 2 because I just feel like Jrue Holiday brings a different dimension to this team. Now, you got Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. They don't have to be the point guard. They finally got themselves a true point guard that can actually get them the ball. And that is the reason why this is my second best team in the NBA heading into the 2023 season. But my number 1 team, I got to go with the Milwaukee Bucks. I got to go with Giannis Antetokounmpo and Dame Lillard. Them getting Damian Lillard put them at number 1. And the reason why is because I know what Dame Lillard can I know what he can do. I know that he's gonna him and Giannis in the pick and roll. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be stupid. And now, can you really load up the paint and try to stop or put up the wall or whatever you want to call it to stop Giannis? Because now you got a point guard, you got a player that now, if he give it out there to Dame Lillard can hit you with 9 3-pointers. So which one would you take? Would you take Giannis going down low and getting 2, maybe hit, maybe miss? Or would you take Dame Lillard going bonkers and hit 9 threes in a game? So that's going to be what teams are going to have to deal with. And this team, and the why I put this team over the Boston Celtics is because of how big this team is. The only player on this team that's small, honestly, is Dame Lillard. Because you got Giannis standing at 7 foot, 6'10", 6'11", whatever. You got the other guy, the Lopez twins, both of them 7 foot. So you have a lot of size on this team. This is a very, very big team. And I think Jay Crowder is going to be one of the players that's going to be playing a lot this season. I think he will be one of the players that will be playing a lot for this team right here because he's a defensive guy. He's a 3-and-D guy. He can hit a three every now and then, and he's going to give his heart on the defensive end. That's another defensive player. One of my partners just said, "Bro, you didn't even mention the Heat." I didn't mention the Heat. I didn't mention the Heat on purpose because you want to know why? Because the Miami Heat's had a chance to be in my top 5, but the reason why the Miami Heat is not in my top 5 is because they couldn't pull off the trade for Dame Lillard. Now, if you pull off the trade for Dame Lillard, I put him in the top 5. That is the reason why I didn't put them in my top 5 because they're not a top 5 team right now. You see what I'm saying? Not heading into the season. Yes, they have Jimmy Butler. Yes, they have Bam Adebayo. But who else? Tyler Hero. I'm not a fan of Tyler Hero. That's just me. I'm just not a fan of him. He's just average. He's a Jazz, just another guy. That's why I look at him as. I don't look at him as being a guy who's going to determine a game. I look at him as being a player that's going to come out there. He might hit about 2 or 3 threes. He might go 15 points, maybe. But in the big game, can I depend on him? Dame Lillard is somebody that I know for a fact that him with Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo, that's why I didn't want him to go to Miami because I got a homeboy. He's a Miami Heat fan. So I wanted him to stay down, and I didn't want Miami Heat to be on top because that would have been what put them over the top. Would have been Dame Lillard, Bam Adebayo with Jimmy Butler. That right there would have been a crazy dynamic duo right there. It would have been, they would have definitely been up there in my top 5, even maybe in the top 4 if they pulled off that trade. But the Milwaukee Bucks, I think they're the best team right now heading into the 2023 season. And the reason why I say they are the best team heading into the 2023 season is because of Dame Lillard and Giannis Antetokounmpo. This team right here, bearing injuries, this team right here could definitely take the East. And I will pick them over the Boston Celtics because of the size. The size got to matter. Because if you have the size like they have, it's going to give the Boston Celtics a lot of issues. A lot of issues. And that is the reason why this Milwaukee Bucks team, bearing injuries, is set to go at least Eastern Conference Final, NBA Final. That is their potential this season. With everything that this team, with Adrian Griffin, the new coach, he coaches defense. I think this team right here is going to be better than they was last season. Hey, man, but y'all let me know what y'all think about this segment. Give me y'all feedback of my top 5 teams. But, hey, don't sleep. I'm going to give you all tomorrow or even Sunday, I will give you all my 6 through 11 of top teams in the NBA. Make sure y'all stay tuned for that episode as well. And thank y'all again for listening to another great segment of the Real Untouchable Podcast with me, Ray Diggs. Hey, thank you all for watching. And make sure you all tune in for another great episode. Peace.